Hi there, welcome to the Schwowin's Nest. My name is Sandra, and this is my last day of Christmas decor. I'm going to be using this cute little palette sign that I picked up at my Dollarama store. It was $2.50. I'm going to remove the label and give it a couple of coats of white chalk paint. I have this wood snowflake cutout that came in a pack of 5 from Michaels, and I'm going to paint it with Parisian Grey Folk Art chalk paint. It's only going to need one good coat because this chalk paint is amazing. It covers really well. I'm also going to use this smaller wood cutout snowflake and I'm going to paint it white. This snowflake came in a pack of a bunch of different things. It had a couple different styles of red trucks and a couple different styles of the snowflakes. So I decided to grab this one. I liked the shape of it best. I'll just be painting the front of it, a couple of coats, and making sure to get all of those little edges. While the snowflakes are drying, I'm going to stencil the word home, but of course the snowflake is going to be my O. So this is a simple script alphabet stencil. It's my absolute favorite stencil in the world. It's a 3-inch stencil and I do have it linked down in my description box. I'm just using some black chalk paint. You can use acrylic paint or any type of paint that you have, a makeup sponge, and I'm just going to dab it in, making sure that I don't add too much paint because I don't want it to bleed through. Using a fine-tipped Craft Smart black paint pen, I'm just going to draw some shadow lines. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I really love making all of my letters look a little bit more high-end and professional, so I do always add a line or a shadow to the left side of my letters. You could do it on the right as well, but you just want to make it consistent and be on the same side for all of your letters. I'm going to be distressing this and I'm doing it a little bit differently. I grabbed the paintbrush that still had some of the gray chalk paint on it from when I painted the snowflake, and I just started dry brushing around the edges, and what happened was really neat. I just let the brush kind of go a little bit more onto the wood than I normally would, and it picked up some of the brush lines from when I added the white chalk paint, and it's really starting to look old and vintage. So I've just stumbled upon a little technique that I think I will be adding to my repertoire of different types of ways to distress. To distress the snowflake, I used the makeup sponge that I used to stencil the letters. It still had a little bit of wet paint on it, and I just dabbed it around the edges to give that a little bit more of a rustic look. Then I did the same thing with the white snowflake. I'm using hot glue to attach the snowflake to the center palette, and I'm just going to make sure that it is centered really nicely, and then I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the white snowflake and add that on. To add a little bit of wintertime sparkle to the snowflake, I'm using a bamboo skewer with some Mod Podge, and I'm just going to be dripping it on like that. Then I'm going to take some Epsom salts and put my sign on top of a bowl so it doesn't make a big mess, and just pour some of the Epsom salts on top of the glue. Then press them down a little bit with my finger, allow them to set for a few seconds, and then shake off the excess. While I do this to the rest of the little petals of the snowflake, I wanted to take a moment and wish all of my subscribers and viewers a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This will be my last Christmas video of the season, but I will be posting throughout the holidays, and hopefully you'll come and join me for some YouTube fun. I have some wonderful things planned for the rest of this year and the coming year, so I hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell so you can get notified whenever I upload new videos and you don't want to miss out. The last thing I'm going to do is just paint the back of the sign with one coat of chalk paint just to make it look more finished. I decided to add a hanger to it. It would be a nice stand-up sign as well, but I thought you never know, somebody might want to hang this. And just in case you didn't know, I do sell the majority of my crafts. I do sell them on Facebook Marketplace, and starting in January, I will have an opportunity for you to purchase some of my crafts and designs on my website. So stay tuned for that. I'm using this black and white wrapped string that I got at Michael's. I think during the holiday season, it's also available at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to tie a knot in the end of the rope, and that will help it be more secure when I have it hot glued on. The second project is using this tag that I've already done some painting to one side. I'm going to flip it over and use the back. I've used some masking tape to mark off some stripes. I want the top part of this to be white, so I'm using linen white from Rust-Oleum, and I'll give this a couple of coats. I'm going to paint the bottom portion with Folk Art Maui Sand. It's a beautiful dark gray. I'm really loving the grays and white tones for winter this year. Now I'm taking this little roll of double-sided tape. This is something I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be marking out two small lines that are going to stay the brown color. I wanted it to have a little bit of a wood tone to it, but I didn't feel like doing a wood stain or anything on this because it doesn't have any wood grain. So I thought this might be a nice alternative. So I'm going to just butt these up against the gray at the bottom and the white at the top, so there's just an equal thin line that's going to stay brown. Using Folk Art Parisian Gray chalk paint, I'm going to paint the interior and then let all of it dry completely. I am really enjoying the Folk Art brand of chalk paints. They are available at Walmart. I believe you can also get them on Amazon. And I really love the coverage. You really sometimes only need one coat. It's just amazing, and the colors are beautiful. Here's my favorite part, which is the reveal, and I think this is going to turn out really pretty. I really love the little pop of wood color in between the grays. I cut out a stencil using my Cricut, and this is just on cardstock. I'm going to use the white chalk paint for the snowflakes at the bottom, and I'm just going to pounce my brush really lightly. I don't want it to get any bleed through. I want the snowflakes to be kind of different, so each of them does turn out a little bit different. And I do get a little bit of bleed through on the large one, but I'm going to fix that later. For the snowflakes at the top, I'm just going to change the direction of how I place the snowflakes, and I'm going to use the Parisian gray. So I did have a little bit of the gray overlap onto the white, so I'm taking a fine artist brush and just cleaning that up. I'll do the same thing with the gray down at the bottom. I'm so excited to share with you that I will be having all sorts of different designs available on my website starting in January. So this snowflake stencil was made out of cardstock, but you could order it as a plastic stencil, which would be reusable. And you can also get it as a free printable. So I'm going to have lots of different options for you as a crafter, if you are one yourself, to be able to take advantage of all of the designs that I create. So for this sign, I cheated a little bit and I used my Cricut and cut out some black vinyl to say the word welcome. And I'm just going to apply that into the middle space. For the hanger, I'm going to use this buffalo check ribbon that I got at Walmart. I'm going to cut it down to the length I need and then hot glue the two ends together. I really love the way this project turned out. I think it might be hanging on my front door for the winter season. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate your support. If you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to stick around a while. Hit that subscribe button. Those two black arrows will show you exactly where to click. Stay tuned for 2021. I've got some more winter DIYs for you, along with some fantastic farmhouse decor ideas. Merry Christmas!